Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
So we are now live and we are very excited to have a special guest, but we're going to wait for a few more people to get on board before we get going for today.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's that time. It's that
Hey.
time. How was both of y'all week for this week thus far?
It was okay. I stayed in the house. It was raining all day today, so it's still raining now, so it didn't do
Here
too
as well. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna check to make sure we're good on all the platforms. So for a minute, give me a second. I'm gonna actually come off the screen for a second.
Okay. Hey, everyone that has joined us so far. We have Mr. Ryan Jackson. He's going to be our guest tonight, but we're going to wait for some more people to come on to get started, and while Pika check everything else to make sure everything else is running. So I hope y'all have had a good weekend and a good week. Ryan, how's your weekend been? How was your weekend?
Weekend, hey, it's always a blip, it goes by so fast you can't ever remember what you did. And yeah, so but I'm sure it went well.
Yeah. I know it does go by very quickly.
Right. Never long enough. I always say it needs to be 3-day weekends all the time.
Right. Yeah. Yes, always time to start.
Tuesday. Have mercy.
I know. Already. It's what, the 5th? Yeah, March the 5th. And 3 months into a new year already. It's going by quick.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Hey, y'all. Hey, everyone that has joined us. Thank y'all for joining. Y'all make sure y'all let y'all family know, your friends know that we're on. If they're not on social media, they can always join us from YouTube as well. So on our page, on one of the posts, I can't remember which one, we have put the link. And then also on my page, I just posted the link as well with the live that I shared to the page. So if you don't want to watch from Facebook, you can always click the link for YouTube, and you can always make sure you follow us on that page as well. So, yes. All right, Pika, you're going to come back on so you can get us going with the introduction?
I am. So far, we are good on all of our platforms. So thank you all. Thank you all. I think we have a few more people that have joined us. So yes. I do see where Ian Camara, thank you for joining us. Welcome to our platform. So thank you. Just wanted to give a shout out to those who are on. So yeah, I heard y'all talking about the whole nasty weather that we have going on. But I'll go ahead and start with our introduction. I would like to welcome you to the Topeka and Jessica are live, where two best friends were from the South. Our goal is to not only inspire, encourage, but to provide hope and entertainment by discussing different topics, situations in real time, real life events through our transparency with a sense of humor and flair and realness that you're not going to find anywhere else. Today, we do have a special guest. A long time friend of mine who is also a certified life coach, Ryan Jackson. But before we get going into all the good information and good personal insights, I would like to take this time and introduce us. I am your host, Topeka.
And I am Jessica.
And we have Ryan as well.
Hey, it's Ryan. Hey, this is my first time, so y'all got to give me a little bit of grace here.
That's right. He's doing great. So, and we are here today. So thank you. And I'll let Jessica go ahead and get into our disclaimer. And from there, we'll get going. So thank you again. And for all of our new people, please like, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that share button. And for our returning viewers, thank you all for continuing to join us, taking the time out of your day to come and spend an hour or a little over an hour with us, where you could be doing anything in the world, but you choose to join us. So thank you and welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Jessica, I'll let you have it now.
So as y'all know, Topeka and Jessica is live. We have, like Pika said, transparency through everything. So anything that we talk about, we are not, giving y'all recommendations on anything, but we are just here to share our stories, other people's stories, give insight. So again, if it's anything talking about health, anything talking about mental health, anything talking about relationships, we are not saying, hey, this is what you need to go do. We are simply sharing our information and hopefully, in hopes that it may help you in some shape, form, or fashion. But again, we are not saying, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what we recommend for you to do. Again, make sure you go seek your specialist in those areas or any area that you may feel the need to. But again, thank you for joining us. And we are ready to get going.
Yes. So tonight, it is my pleasure to have our special guest on, Ryan Jackson.
It's been a long time.
Yes. This is a pleasure. Ryan and I, we go back some years. Like we were kind of like, just touching base, and it's like, dang, it's been. I don't want to tell our age because we're young, but it's been a long, long time.
We ain't gonna do that. Yeah, we ain't gonna do that.
It's been wow. So I mean, we go back to like before I even had kids, and he just had his one. But we met in Germany when I was stationed there, and he was stationed there, and I had the pleasure of meeting him, his ex-wife, and then his daughter. And I tell y'all, I fell in love with their family, and it's been a pleasure. Sometimes as you're traveling the world. Around the world, you meet different people from different places, and you just never know. Sometimes you mesh, sometimes you don't mesh, sometimes there's a connection, sometimes there's not a connection. But with us, we did have an instant connection. So, with no further ado, I do know things have changed with you, Ryan, over time, right? You've had a lot of changes, been through a lot, as we all have. Because I know my life has definitely changed since we, kind of last picked up. So let us know what all has happened since then. And I'm gonna take a break because my alarm is going off, but you can go ahead and get going.
Oh man, so yeah, it's been a while. Like I said, Topeka, almost 20 years, something like that. I've had the pleasure to get to know her and her ex-husband, and being in the military over in Germany, being in the Air Force. It's all foreign to us, and we built that camaraderie amongst our families and other folks that are out there, because we're just trying to figure it out and trying to navigate our way through the military and trying to build a career, and just trying to find where we need to be in life. But yeah, when we left off was I left Germany at around 2005. I got stationed over at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia. During that time, I was going through a really difficult period in my life where, Germany overseas did a number. Mm-hmm. It really did a number, on my relationship and on my marriage. Mm-hmm. At that time, first of all, me and my ex-wife, we married young. So that was probably already something that was against us. We got married quick again. We got put over into a whole nother country.
Don't know anybody.
Yeah, as soon as we get there, we find out, hey, we having a baby. You know, as soon as we find out we having a baby, hey, Airman Jackson, you're getting deployed.
Oh goodness.
This is all in the span of less than a year. And we're
Oh, wow.
talking about like anywhere between 6 to 8 months. All of this was happening. You know, so that's how my 2002, 2003, you know, started.
Wow, that's crazy.
Busy.
Yes.
Busy.
Oh yeah. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, just looking back at that, right? And I remember when, we first met, I didn't realize that you had been deployed like prior to us meeting. And now you mentioned that, like I forgot about that, but that right there plays a significant impact because not only that, what people don't realize, like, oh, you're in a foreign country, you're overseas, you're living the glam life. And it's nice, don't get me wrong, but like you said, those obstacles that's put before you. And I remember when we got there, me and my ex, they said, look for a white swan. Right, we got off the airplane, and where did they send us to? That we would catch to Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
And they said, look for a white swan. Now this is in January, so we're out there at the bus stop looking for a white. We knew it was gonna be a bus with a white bus. Pull up, it wasn't white, it was blue. What the heck? So with that, it's everything. So I can only imagine what you went through in a foreign country, just being married. Your wife's pregnant, and then you're getting deployed because deployment does a number on you as well, on you and your spouse that people don't realize. So that right there is like a mix for, dang. But go ahead with your story. I'm sorry.
No, interrupt at any moment. It's okay. But yeah, we a lot of that change was going on during that short period of time. Got deployed. I was fortunate enough to get back to Germany from my deployment before my firstborn was had arrived. I had time to take a plane over back to the States because that's where my ex-wife at the time, she went back to Texas just to get a little bit support from family and everything since I was gone. Made it in the nick of time to witness the birth of my child, which was a beautiful thing. That's probably where it all began, where I changed as a man. I can tell you that. That responsibility kicked in.
Yes.
It kicked in,
How did y'all manage with, everything happening so quick? I know you said you were deployed and she moved back to Texas. So how did y'all with communication? I know that had to be like a big factor with everything and understanding what was going on.
Well, communication was expensive.
Yes. Those were the days of calling card. I remember that.
It was expensive. I tell you that. But but we communicated for the most part. I was trying to stay in touch with as much people as I possibly could during that time, just to let them know what was going on. Because, hey, when I signed up papers to go into the military, they said there's a possibility. Hey, you might go to war. But I didn't think I was really going to war.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, for real? Like, that's what y'all sending me?
Not to mention you were Air Force, right? So Air Force, like, go to war, like, really?
Yeah. So at that time, I'm like, I don't know nothing yet. Y'all sending me out there, So definitely, I was trying to be as transparent as I possibly could with my family, my friends. My wife at the time, just let her know, hey, I'm alive, I'm well, I'm okay. How are you doing? Baby, all right? Baby's kicking. Cool. All right. They're gonna get me out of here at a certain time. I'll be there. I'll be there. But again, a lot of change in such a short period of time. And still during that time, with us marrying so young, despite the fact that we was high school sweethearts, we was still trying to figure each other out.
Right.
It's very important. I love that. Yes.
We ain't know nothing. And I can tell you firsthand, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. But my wife at the time, she treated it like as if, hey, there's a book on marriage. She already knew. She read it. And I'm like, how you know that? I don't know. Like, I'm trying here. But again, we were really trying to get to really know each other in a way of cohabitating, living under the same roof, and then bringing in a baby. And we found out that there were some things in which that we really didn't like about each other.
Right.
Good point. Good point. Yes.
You know?
And yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people that you hear, they think, okay, we meet, I like you, you like me, we vibe, and we doing this. And then they move in together, which is a whole nother learning phase and a whole nother curve that they got to get over. But then when you bring a child into the mix, that's something totally different. It's a whole nother whatever. So, like you said, it's continuing to learn and continuing to grow. And some people do feel, oh, I have a baby by this person, we're going to be together forever, or we get married, that's going to solidify it. And that's not it. Like, the work, getting married is the easy part. The work is keeping the marriage together, So I'm glad you brought that.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
We look forward to the show, the spectacle
Yes.
of it all, right?
There you go.
The whole wedding, the ceremony, the reception, the cake and dancing and all that stuff. We look forward to that. Then after that, the party clears, everybody leaves, the real work begins.
Right. There you go. Daily. Yes. Yes.
Was that y'all first time living together when y'all went to Germany?
First time.
Oh, wow. So y'all was in a different country. First time moving together. Yeah, everything happened quick.
First time. Yeah. So again, we got to learn a lot of stuff about each other and a lot of things that we really did not like about each other.
Yep, that's normal. So yeah.
Yeah, but just to kind of speed this train along, there have been multiple times where we've had to separate ourselves, just to have peace within ourselves.
Yes.
And it wasn't fair to our baby girl. So there's been a couple of times we had to kind of just split apart, take a break. We weren't talking about divorce, just take a break,
Yes, it's needed.
For a little bit. So, she had to go to the States a couple of times. And then when we felt like we were ready, like, let's do this. And then, unfortunately, every time we tried to retry, it got worse. you know. And one thing I definitely want to emphasize is that we really got to pay attention to people when they have babies and hormones change. There's those chemical imbalances, and it affects your mental state. It definitely affects your mental health, and that really, it was like the trigger that just exploded everything after we really had our first child. But as I've grown older and grown wiser, more mature, I look back and I'm like, you know what? Some of those things were there.
Yeah, before. Yes.
They were there before.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was no one's fault. She didn't know it. I didn't know it, but they were there.
Right.
And that's the thing that goes against you when you marry young.
That is so true.
And you go fast.
That right.
But
patience, but yeah, it's time.
Fast forward again. Now this is where, okay, Topeka, you and I and your husband, we kind of like separated where our friendship and everything. I left Germany. Y'all were still there, went to Langley. During that time, that's when we decided, within our marriage that, hey, this ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's probably that best that we cut our losses at this point. And so she went to Texas, I went to Virginia. She's got my baby girl. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
You were always, that's pride and joy. I can attest to that. So yes.
Anybody that knew me at that time, they knew how much I loved my daughter. And still do, So we went through that separation, you know, even tried to figure out, you know, trying to see if we could still rekindle and work out like, hey, we on the state side now, you know,
Yeah.
there's multiple resources that can
Mhm.
help us.
Yeah.
We can get it together.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Good point.
no, it was we were a day late, dollar short. And you know, we just went separate paths. But that whole co-parenting thing, and it's a struggle. And you know, there really isn't any cookie cutter way of doing it. But you just got to remember, you got to do whatever's best for that child.
Right.
You really do. You know,
Yes.
remove self
Exactly.
away, because there were many times, and I'll be completely honest, there were many times where, you know, although that me and my ex-wife, we were separated at the time and we really didn't like each other, we were butting
Yes.
heads. You know, you look for ways to be petty.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you look for ways to be very petty. It doesn't end well, because now you've thought about yourself and you thought about trying to get back at the other person.
Right.
Who's missing out here?
The child.
The child. So, you know, and that was one of the things in which that, you know, I was really trying to explain for a lot of my close friends and people at the time, where they were seeing, you know, me like, man, you gonna let that happen to you? That's how you gonna do that? I'm like, I gotta put the child first.
That's right.
Right.
As much as this sucks, as much as this hurts and is actually almost weakening me, I have to put the child first. And that actually, with, you know, doing that just provided me the strength. That gave me my, you know, that was my motivation. That gave me my purpose.
Yes. Yes.
Is putting that baby first. And yeah, man. So it don't get no realer than that. And again, you know, folks think that there's a certain way to do it. There really isn't. People trying to co-parent, it's not always as, you know,
As they
sunshines and rainbows. It ain't that.
It's not.
It's not.
And I think what you said too about the point about taking self out of it, I think that's the hardest part, especially in a case where you were married, you know, because again, y'all are used to it. And now you're going through a separation, a divorce, right? And you feel, okay, this is the right way. She feels this is the right way. And how do you come to a median, especially when you're in two different states at that, you know? So that part is a challenge in and of itself too. Like, okay, I want to be in my child's life. I want to be active, but she wants the same. It's like, where is that balance coming in? You know? So where it was times, I'm sure you did not mean to be petty. Pettiness came because it's like, you know what? You're not hearing me. And she's probably like, you're not hearing me. So where is that balance in between there? And unfortunately, it's the kids that get stuck in the middle of it. And
exactly.
I mean, similar situation with me and my ex, which was me and my husband, same situation. I tell you, we really didn't get to a resolution until after our divorce papers were signed, despite, you know, and sometimes I guess it takes that final whatever. And now we're able to communicate and co-parent like we should have been from the, you know, from the beginning, you know. But it took some time for him to come around and be like, you know what? Okay, I get it, I got it, you know, get it, got it. Don't know why, but hey, we're there now. So I definitely understand what you're saying, because it doesn't come with the book, a manual, or and what helped one person may not help the next person, because every relationship, every household is different. And a lot of people think that when you separate, you're supposed to hate, right, that other person,
right,
your kid's parent. But it's like, no, we have a child together. What is hating going to do? And I still despise that right there, because it's like, okay, if the person you're with don't understand that we have a child together and we have to communicate for that child, that's it. That's an issue. So I definitely can understand where you're coming from with that.
Right. Yeah. So
I want to say I applaud you for just taking the initiative to stay in your child's life and not letting yourself get into, because sometimes it takes men a long time to realize that. But and not letting your friends get in your ear about hey, why you letting her do you like that? Why you going through that? But you still, stood your ground as a man and as a father to still want to be in your child's life. So I applaud you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it ain't just your friends, it's your family too. They be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
man, don't go out
They be the
like
main ones.
that. What are you doing? Because they're hurting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They're hurting. They're seeing
Right.
their loved one get hurt and abused and taken for granted and advantage of. It's kind of like, you can kind of see where they're coming from. But I was highly fortunate that I was able to kind of just keep it together.
Yeah.
And I was just strictly tunnel vision. All I can see is baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And one thing that I wanted to really touch on, just being active with your kids, you gotta be intentional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't have that intent, you ain't got nothing. Then you're just gonna lose whatever
Right.
connection that you have with your child and everything.
So
Although my baby girl was 2 years old,
yes.
I picked up a phone and I'm like, let me talk to her.
Right.
That part.
She
Right.
That
don't know
part.
what
Yes. That
she
part.
don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I barely understand what she's saying. But she gonna hear this voice.
There
Yeah.
you go. Despite what's going
Because
on.
they recognize that. They recognize voice, they recognize space, they recognize all of those things. And sometimes men want to wait till late to try to get into the child's life. And then when that child don't want to go with them or be involved with them, they're like, hey, well, what's going on? But you created that. So
And then they want to bring blame the other parent like it's the other parent's fault, but we have to take responsibility for our actions. Like, no, I'm not turning my child against you. You're doing this because you're not there. You're not showing up. And in the time that you're speaking of back then, when your daughter was 2, there was no video call. There was no FaceTime. There was none of that. So you just had your voice that she had to get familiar with, and hopefully a picture, and then that time you were put in with her. So that right there in and of itself, big,
Yeah. So definitely. You gotta have that intent.
yeah.
You really do. But along with that struggle, I really sympathize with a lot of brothers that's out there that have children, especially those, because I was connected to them, those who are in the military and they're miles away from their kids. One thing that I learned was that, well, first of all, you already know, Topeka, we didn't make no money.
No, and I hate when people think that. It's like, no.
We didn't make any money. In 2005, I'm a E4. I'm not making any money.
Trying to take care of a household. Yes.
And when I got to Virginia, leaving overseas, it hit hard because
big pay difference. Yes,
I'm not getting those extra stipends and allowances that I was getting overseas. That hurt. Oh, and guess what, brother? You got to pay child support. You got to pay spousal support. Now, this is mandated by my first sergeant here that had, my best interest. And they were trying to protect me, like, hey, y'all separating. She's going here. You'll be here. You go make this much. And you calculated this. According to Texas, you're going to need to probably send her this. Let's add a little cushion. Throw that on top just to be on the safe side. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Did it. Never missed a payment. Never missed a payment.
Yeah.
It was either bank transfer, wire, Western Union. It didn't matter. I never missed a payment.
Made sure she had it. There you go.
Kept the record.
There you go. Yeah, exactly that part.
But I get to that because there was a lot of other single women with children that I worked with, and they complained a lot about the fathers of they kids. Like, oh well, he ain't around and this and that, and he don't do this and he don't do that, and he pay child support. Yeah, that better, because if he doesn't, that don't come on time, I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna have that tail, right? So I'm like, can he afford to be around the kid?
That's a good point.
So my struggle
Mm.
was, I'm in Virginia, my baby's in Texas, I'm paying child support. Yes, I'm calling in. I'm hearing the struggles of what my ex-wife is having with raising the child,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
there, you know. I got no cash to get a plane ticket.
But you want to be there. But that's
I
real. That's
want to
real.
be there. I don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So there's a
That's
lot of
real.
things to consider.
Yeah.
You know why? You know, a lot of men I know that are not in the picture. You know, and that being one of them. Me, I couldn't afford.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure still that I was able to kind of get a plane ticket,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
something. My mom at the time, she was, giving me some points and stuff like, hey, I got some sky miles on this and see if you can use that, and
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
what or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, all I gotta do, I was like, I'm calculating in my head, all I gotta do, let me get that one way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I
Let me
remember
just
how I'm gonna get back later.
let me get that one way.
Right.
I worry about trying to get back. I'll get a paycheck while I'm there
Right.
on leave. Work that out.
Yeah.
Can make it back. Yep, that's real. That's real.
And then when I get there, baby girl went, Daddy, you want to go to Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
I
Where it's coming from?
don't know when you do Chuck E. Cheese, boo.
We're coming to pizza and we play some games at home. Yeah.
We can sit here and let's play some video games or something,
Yes,
watch some
that is
Disney
so
movies
real.
or whatever. We're gonna throw on some Lilo and Stitch. We'll do that. Let's do that.
Yes, yes. That's real though. That's real. And that's something I think again, as you point that out, that I mean from a woman's perspective, that I can't say just a woman, but sometimes that gets overlooked, again, the man is doing this, doing that. Maybe they don't have, but then you do see the other people, maybe they do have and they're not doing. But it's like, okay, if both parents can come together and realize if it is the case, if it's truly the case that both are doing the best they can, then that right there, but it still doesn't make up for that time that you're not with that child or the other
Yeah,
parent is not with that child.
yeah. It's a big.
It's real.
I
That's
had to
real.
do what I had to do during that
Mhm.
time, and like
Mhm.
again, it's been a while since we talked, and since
Yes,
we really,
yes, definitely.
caught up and everything. So
Man,
the moment I was on that, took that plane over to Virginia, like I already knew I was gonna be strapped to cash, and
yes,
I was barely able to get my apartment.
get it
And
situated.
yeah,
Yes,
and
that's real.
Newport News, anybody there from Newport News? If I got any folks that join in, like, hey, I
It's
was there
real.
and I got an apartment. Had to like slowly get some new furniture together and stuff.
Piece
And
by piece. Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
ended up getting a second job.
Mm-hmm.
I got a second job at this pizza place around the corner from my apartment,
Yeah, making it work.
to where they hired me to deliver pizzas. Little mom and
Mm.
pop pizza shop. Yeah, it was owned by this Egyptian gentleman who
Wow.
had he had two wives working in the
Right,
same
so look at
place.
me here.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I just saw, hey, I went there to go get some pizza. I was so broke. I was in there trying to look for pizza by the slice. Thinking,
Oh,
can I get by the, I'm
yeah.
trying.
Try to make it. Try to make it. But
Yeah,
shoot.
I
Oh
saw that they
man.
were hiring for drivers. I was like, look, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Yeah.
do that. I'll be in here every day after I work. I go in, go to work, come home, strip off that uniform, put on some regular clothes, clock in. and then they were so nice. They
Yes.
they paid me after each
Okay.
day.
Yeah. See,
That's good.
doing what you
And
had to do, doing what you have to do. So,
that, I mean, it still
so that's
wasn't
great.
really enough though, but it helped me from really going into the poorhouse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That really helped me. And but at the same time, still tunnel vision. I was like, okay, I gotta get a plane ticket.
Yeah.
I gotta buy some clothes because at 3, 4 years old, kids grow like weeds.
Yes.
Right. They do.
And and the thing is, although I'm paying child support, I want to buy my baby clothes. I'm not doing that just to be kind and extra. I'm doing that just so, hey, my child knows what she's getting and knows where it's coming from.
There you go. Yep. That's true. That's true.
So I did, certain things like that. I wrote letters anytime I was thinking about it. Kids can't wait to get something in the mail. Like,
that's true. That age.
anything for
It's from my
me.
daddy. Oh.
Yeah, so that's how I had to stay in touch. It takes more than just paying child support. It starts with actively just paying, pressing call on that cell phone and making that call.
Right. Right.
It's so
Whether
true.
it's 2, 3 minutes, it doesn't matter.
That's right. Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Taking the initiative. That is so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if she don't want to talk, she'll know, hey, daddy called. Like I remember, yeah, he called. I didn't want to talk, but he called, and yeah, he was always calling, You don't always have to have anything scripted out to say, just taking that initiative to show your child that, hey, I'm here. I miss you. I love you. I want you, whatever it is, that goes so far.
Right.
Now in the age that we are, because I'm saying that because I remember back then, I'm, visualizing the time that we were in. We had the cell phones, but it was not our smartphones. Okay. So we had the regular, I think, like Nokias and all that stuff. I'm showing our age, but anyways, it wasn't no sending no text message. It was none of that stuff back then. So it was a matter of picking up that phone. And I think we were still paying for long distance too at that time,
We might have. No, I remember it was like those 3 minutes after 9 or something like that. Yeah.
So really having to set that intention, like, yes, I'm here for you, baby girl. I'm here for you, son, or whatever it is, in that time frame, like being active and being intentional about it. And I think if more parents did that, that'll go far, especially in the day and age that we're in now. I really don't see any excuses. And I do hear sometimes where they're like, oh, well, me and the mom not getting along, or me and the dad is not getting along. That's no reason. I don't care. Don't let nobody keep you from being a part of your child's life. Yeah. There's a will, there's a way. If y'all don't get along, meet in a public place. Do something, have a mediator if that's the case. But again, that child will never forget that you showed up.
Right.
That you tried to show up, but if you don't make no initiative or don't take that initiative, that will always be implanted in their mind. And then the child could start suffering from personality stuff, self-esteem issues. Am I enough? Why wasn't I enough? Why weren't you there? So a whole lot goes into that. And we're not going to get into that. I don't want to get off topic. But again, it's very important, especially for a man to be in their child's life, whether it's a male, a son, or a daughter. That man is needed in that child's life, regardless. And I'm saying that because I know we speak about it a lot, Jessica, where we say, okay, we are women, we are females. We can give that nurturing, we can give that, but we can never take the place of a man or the father, being in that child's life. We just can't. I'm sorry. So, yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm trying to take over.
Yeah. One thing you touched on is like, it shouldn't matter, how both parents are getting along, because also, you've seen the story many times. Like, a lot of guys don't want to deal with the mother of the child, the baby mama, just because, man, she difficult, she complicated. Like, I can't. Like, nah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, she been nah. She won't let me see my child and everything, and this and that and stuff like, man, brother, you better put that child first.
There you go. And women too, we got to put our kids first, because at the end of the day, their God has blessed us with them, and that's a blessing. I thank God daily for mine, even though Thinking on my nerves time, I get a headache, I get but I would trade them for nothing. Those are my babies, God gifts to me. So yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I tell you, times me and their dad didn't get along, but I'm like, you want your kids? Please come get them. I need a break. I mean, that's me. Where you want me to meet you at? Okay. Like we ain't gotta get along, but come get these kids.
So I can say, for the most part, I was always communicating with my ex, but that communication was, it was rough. It was rough. It took a lot. It took a lot within me to just muster up the energy to just be like, I haven't talked to my baby in 2 days. The last time me and her mama got into it, take a deep breath. All right.
Let's self-talk. Self-talk.
But I need to talk to baby girl. Like, you got to talk to yourself, pump yourself, be your own, cheerleader, be your own coach.
That's so true.
Right. Because the most important thing is that you're making that effort. Like, that's something that can never be taken away, because despite, like you said, despite that y'all argued or whatever your relationship was with the mom, you still made that effort and attempt to keep in touch with your child and to, know what's going on and stuff. So,
and that transfer of energy. If one person's miserable, transfers over to the other. So it took a lot. It took a lot. So I just made sure I remained intentional. I just made sure that I had to find a way to rediscover myself as well, because I barely knew crap about myself before I got married.
Yeah.
Let alone I became a different person when I got married.
That's so true.
Now I'm no longer married or no longer about to be married. Who am I now?
Right. Right.
That's deep. That's deep.
And at that time I was in a state of manifestation. I didn't even know what it was at the time. We all know what it is now. Like, manifest that. Like, manifest that. It's gonna come through. Right? At that time, I didn't know what that was, but I actually I looked at myself in the mirror like each day, several times a day. I literally looked at myself in the mirror and found a way to talk to myself to where I was happy with myself. Let me be happy with who this is that's standing in front of me, that reflection.
That's right.
At the same time, with being happy and even loving that person that's standing in front of you on that reflection, what could I have done better?
Yeah. Self-reflection.
Did I do anything wrong? Could I have done it this way? Could I maybe have said something different rather than saying it that way? What do I want from here on out? Who do I want to be? What's the man that I want to be at this point? So it's back to that tunnel vision again. All I can think about is I just want to be the best father to my child that I possibly can. What does that mean? Putting her first. That means sacrificing. I hate to say sacrificing sometimes, because I don't never want to feel that I'm just doing without. Like it can be misconstrued. You're like, I sacrificed so much for you. Like, I missed out, and you kind of make somebody feel bad about it.
Yes.
Dang, they didn't get the chance to do that because they were doing so much for me. So I hate to kind of use that word.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I just did whatever I needed to do to kind of put, again, her first, because I knew what was most important to me was to be the best father that I could possibly be.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so if that meant like, hey, I'm gonna just send her something, through the mail before I go get these new kicks or whatever, then so be it. Every time I go shoe shopping, who's the first I still to this day, I go shoe shopping. I'm trying to look for some new Nikes or some new fresh kicks or whatever. First place I go in the store is the kids section.
Yes, yes.
It's the first spot. I'm going into the kids section.
That
I'm like,
baby,
and I'm looking like, nothing there for them. Let me go see what I can get now.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You
And
know,
that's how
9 times out of 10, I'm picking something up for them.
for them. Yep. Don't even come out with anything for you, but your kids taken care of. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, that self-reflection, that manifesting and everything by also saying, hey, this is who I want to be. This is what I want in my life. This is what I no longer want in my life. I'm gonna push that to the side. This is now how I gotta move and maneuver. That was, I'd be lying if I said that was purposeful. Like I did it on purpose. I was just, I don't know. I can contribute it to prayer, or maybe I'm just wise beyond my years. I don't know.
We'll take that too. We will take that too.
But I'm so happy and I'm so blessed that I was in the headspace to really think that way.
Right.
And just to kind of really look at myself, like, who do I want to be? Am I happy with this?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm happy with this. This was up. I can work with this. Right. And then you get to talking like, man,
I'm good. Yeah.
She missed out.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Like, yeah, she missed out on the prize. Oh well, next person up, jackpot.
Yep. Self-love, that goes very far. Again, like being able to sit down and just be, and as Latrice Brown said, she said self-reflection is a must. Yes, and it is. And I think a lot of times people don't do that, or I can't say it's the right time or wrong time, because I think we're going to do it in the time that is, needed. But just that knowing the importance of self-reflection and being able to sit down, like you said, okay, where can I change this? Do I want to change? And then that self-love will eventually come. Or can't nobody tell you nothing. Like, okay, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm walking in line. I'm walking in station. I got my prayer life together. I got my life together. What you think is together, that's in your control, So with that, bring it on, bring it on. So
Yeah. Us brothers that are dealing with those type of things too, dealing with a divorce or a breakup and a child comes out of it and everything. We got to find a way to be each other's anchors.
Yes.
And holding, my fellow homie or my homeboy, my brother, friend, accountable, to do the right thing, and for your kids. And I was fortunate enough again to meet people, at that time that were on the same wavelength as I, that their kids were important to them as well.
Yes.
You got to have the right people in your circle.
Right. Definitely.
So so I'm thankful for that. I had met a guy who had ended up becoming my roommate for a number of years. who's in the same predicament. He wasn't married, but you know, he had children that he was just, you know, staying closely connected to. And him and I, we grew this bond to where, you know, we held each other accountable, you know, but at the same time, we were able to kind of figure life out together, like as far as like what we needed to be as men. We went from like still boys to like men, sharing information on how we need to grow up. You know, so yeah, I was thankful for that, and still one of my best friends to this day. And me and him, we keep in touch. But yeah, I was definitely blessed to have that in my life to kind of make it easier for me to like really be active and really to, you know, just be a little bit more mature and just kind of find a way to navigate through life.
Right.
Yeah.
So since then, you've remarried, correct?
So yeah, so since then, part of that manifestation, you know, I told myself, hey, what do I want? What do I want? I ain't gonna lie, it was a period I was like, I ain't getting married again.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
It ain't happening. No. I was like,
pay me to do it, right?
Yeah.
That's me.
But again, but I said, you know, I was like, hey, this is the type of women I want to deal with. This is the type of women, these are the type of personalities I like. This is one I want somebody that's gonna ride for me. You know, definitely if I'm gonna treat you like a queen, I want king in return.
Right.
You know, let's build this kingdom, build a palace. So yeah, so a part of that manifestation, you know, I you know, that was a little bit of that, even though still on the outside, I was like, hey. But in case I do.
Right. That's what you want.
In case I do. Yeah. So divorce went through. The ink was dry on the decree. Just like that.
Wow.
I met the love of my life.
Oh wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, it had to been like a month and a half afterwards. And I'm like, after the divorce finalized, it was like December. I was introduced to the love of my life at the end of that following January.
Okay.
Wow, that's something. But in that time, you had time to like reflect, heal, and go through everything you wanted to go through, and that led to the manifestation. So by that time, you were able to clearly see once you met her that, hey, this is what I was manifesting. This is
So it's funny when she came along. You know, I'm thinking, okay, we gonna kick it. Yeah, we gonna kick it. She cute, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, got to talk to her. I'm like, whoa. Like, I'm like, already? Not yet.
Right.
He wasn't supposed to come yet.
Right.
Like already, this wasn't supposed to happen yet. Like, but you know, hey, I read the sign. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's what I said I wanted.
Yeah, it's for you.
Yeah, that's what I said we wanted. We dated for a few years and got married, and here we are, still to this day. You know,
that's awesome.
Almost 14 years in marriage.
Oh wow.
That is a blessing.
Yeah. And what I was also thankful for with her, she was never married, no children of her own, but she was able to bring in my daughter as her very own.
That's awesome.
This is a lot.
And that's something that I didn't even think about.
Right.
You know, asking for, because I'm like thinking like now, okay, like now I'm like, look, I got a child. You know, want me? Yeah, I got baggage now. Like, I didn't think that way, until after, her and I started dating. I'm like, I like I like how much you care about her.
This is a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
that really, I mean, that's one of the things that really changed the game,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, again, rest is history, 14 years in, two more kids later.
It's a
Okay.
lesson.
Yeah.
It's a
So yeah,
lesson.
it's
It is.
been a hell of a ride.
So now, with that said, I'm just asking, was part of your manifestation, because you, like you said, you knew what you were looking for in a sense, right?
Hmm.
Was it part of it? I hope I'm saying this correctly. Where would you have dated a woman if she would have had kids, if she would have been married? Because I know you said that was like a plus for you that she was not prior married, previously married, your wife now, and she had no kids. So would that have been a deal breaker for you, or was that like not even an issue, seeing that you did have a daughter when all of this came to fruition?
No,
Okay.
no, no, not at all. So even during the time where I was dealing, going through the separation,
Mhm.
I somewhat dated. I mean, I didn't really date, but we
Mhm.
went out on dates with
Yeah.
other women and everything who had kids and all. So I didn't look at that negatively at
Hmm.
all. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Hey, if we vibe, we vibe. We kicking it,
Hmm.
we kicking it. If we having fun, hey,
That's what it is.
that's all
Got
that matters right now. We figure all that other stuff later. But at the same time, I was completely honest
it. Yeah.
of my situation.
Hmm.
Right. And
You
that's,
know,
yeah.
yeah. So it was only fair for them to let them know. Say, hey, look, I got this going on
Right.
Hmm.
now. So just to be fair to you, so take nothing too serious too fast. I can't give you all of me
Yes.
till I know that that is completely
Right.
done.
Mhm.
And I assure you, it's done. A lot of folks don't believe you when they say, "Yeah, yeah, he's getting divorced, and they
Yeah.
separated, and this and that." Let me see them papers.
Right.
Like, take it serious until I see it.
That's
That's right.
so, and that was something that gave me a whole lot of gratitude. My wife, my girlfriend at the time when we was dating, I told her, "Yeah, I'm divorced. I've been divorced since then." She's like, "Let me see them papers." Yeah, no problem.
She might
Look,
play.
She was not
I
playing.
kept I kept them suckers in the glove compartment of my car.
Right.
Oh, you roll around with them.
I kept a copy in the glove compartment. I ain't playing. Like, look, no, it's right here.
Funny.
That
You
is,
were ready. Here you go.
It
yes.
is right here.
I like her. I'm looking forward to meeting her. That is awesome.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
That
So
is
So
so.
yeah,
with
And
the other women that you dated, so you didn't, I know you said with her, you just like felt immediately. So with the other women you dated, were they just like, I don't want to keep going further? Did you know automatically since you did like the self reflection and had that tunnel vision? Did that help? Do you feel that helped you more with developing what you really wanted? And even though you dated, you didn't like keep going further with the other ladies.
yeah, yeah. That helped me know. Like I said,
Mhm.
just the honesty part.
Mm-hmm.
Letting them know, and some of them was like they took that honesty and they was like, oh well, you do got that going on, so
Mm-hmm.
that ain't really what I'm looking for. I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay.
Nora Villains,
You
yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, eh, I mean, but I'll be completely honest. Even those that I, may have gone out to dinner or went to the movies and kicked it with and all, I already knew that in my head, okay, those weren't the ones who watched. I was gonna wife up.
Yeah.
You
You
just
know,
knew. They said you know. So
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So and anybody that knows me, if they didn't pass the test with Mama,
Mm-hmm.
they wasn't getting to the next round.
That's important. That is important that you say that. And for the women, it's always said too that you can tell like a man, right? Um, Good man, different stuff, their morals and all that, depending on the relationship that he has with his mother
Mm-hmm.
and how he
Yeah,
treats his mother. And I think that's a quality that's well overlooked, well overlooked. So it's
Yeah.
interesting you say that.
yeah. I had a lot of respect from my mom. So I got married the first time against my mom's wishes. She told me everything that was gonna happen, and it happened.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
And I was like, dang.
Mamas be knowing.
I was like, dang. I should have listened to mama.
Like, okay, but I did get a beautiful daughter out of it, but I should listen to mama. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is so true.
Yeah. So, I already knew. And again, I was like, hey, whoever I'm dealing with, they gotta pass the test with mama.
Yeah.
And
that's something.
When I introduced my wife to mom, she instantly
fell in love.
Instantly.
Oh wow.
I got the thumbs up from my mom and my aunt at the same time.
Okay.
At the same time, I love it. She's the one.
Yes.
Yeah. When she in the same room, not looking, we turn around and they be like,
we all coming back here.
Got you.
Right.
Got you. So yeah, they had to pass the test.
Mm-hmm.
Had to pass the test.
And then I'm going to go to the comments real quick. So Joe came on. Hey Joe, thank you for joining us. He says hello.
Oh.
And then we have a Smith boy. He says, yeah, she's rare. Hold on to her nowadays. Women won't take on another man's child. Oh.
Yeah, the way things are nowadays, where everybody's measuring the value of one person, based on previous marriage and having a child. Like, it's kind of unfair. It's unfair, but I was just fortunate, at that time, probably dating then was much easier than it is now.
Now, yes, with all the social media and different stuff like that. But, I feel again that when you do date or, in a relationship and stuff like that, if the person does have kids, how can you have a relationship with that person if you don't accept their kids, So again, like, okay, I'm saying I want to be with this person, but I'm not accepting the kids. There's no way I want to be with that person because it's a package. So whether the female has the kids or the male has the kids, and a person can I love my kids, in the way that they will love their own, they're not for me, So again, that's very important.
Yes.
Very important. So there are a few women that will, date men that has kids and vice versa. Some men that would date women that has kids.
Yeah. And I say to them, like, hey, you might pass up your blessing. Your man is, knight in shining armor. You never know.
Exactly.
You never know. Like, quit putting them values on people.
There you go. You never know the difference you're gonna make in that child's life too, So
yeah.
Some people they're like, no, I don't want a part of it. I ain't have my own. I don't want, so that I give her definitely a salute, but she didn't even have kids at that time, So that right there says a lot. So
right. And and just at the same time, me dealing with a child, I have a child, dealing with the drama between, within the baby mama and everything. And she showed some hella patience. Like, it got me scratching my head. Like,
yeah.
Thank you. You still here. Like, you me dealing with this. But she held me down through it. So if I'm dealing with an intense phone call, and I'm, again, that transferring energy, and
right,
I'm just like enraged, like, she's like, baby, it's okay. It's okay. She calmed me down, after many conversations.
Yeah.
Many conversations. I think, she saw who I was. And, the man who I was and what I brought.
That's deep. That's deep.
Yes. I think she could tell a whole lot by the interaction that I had with my child, the interaction that I had with my mother, the interaction that I had with my baby mother. To show a whole lot about how a person is, how a man is.
Yes. And she was able to see you. And again, it goes. I remember telling someone like you need to date in all the seasons, right? Because she was able to see you in that time, at your high, probably at your mid, and at your low. So you're going through all these frustrations with your ex. So again, if you do run into a situation that pisses you off or gets you, over the edge, she will kind of have an idea of how you will handle it, because again, if you don't see a person at that point, how do they know how you're going to handle it if you have not experienced that and went through that with that person? So she did have that outlook where, boom, you know what I'm saying? I see you at you're good. I love this. I see you at your mid. I like this. I see how you are when you down on somebody pisses you off. Okay, we can deal with that. But I think that's very important because sometimes people, they can't deal with some stuff and you're like, okay, this is the person I'm going to get in this situation. In this, can you hold me up? Can I hold you up? So that's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So what led you to your to being a life coach with all of this?
That's a good question. I didn't see it coming. Definitely that. I didn't see that coming. I was really trying to figure out, what more can I do? I've always been the person that wanted to be able to help people. So I just never knew how I could do that. I was like, what more can I do? I'm like, I'm blessed. There's not really a whole lot much more that I really want for myself. What can I do to actually, spread, the wealth or knowledge or what have you, to others. I think the most valuable thing that I have is probably my experience. And being able to share with other young brothers, especially that grew up in, as the same as I did, those who may be trying to figure out their life within the military, being married, having kids, coming out of the military, trying to figure out what they want to do for the rest of their life. And also at the same time, my wife, us being on the same page where we're blessed to have the marriage and cohesiveness that we have in our relationship. Like, how can we do for others as well and share our experiences with others and kind of coach them through certain situations and navigate through life. So yeah, it took a lot of, again, I think we continue to always self-reflect and figure out what it is that we want to do and how we need to do it. Because again, at the end of the day, I just always want to be able to kind of do more for others. And right now, this seems like the simplest way to be able to do that is provide others with, some coaching and sharing my experiences with them so that they can make decisions on how they're going to live their life.
Right.
That's awesome. And your wife, if I'm not mistaken, she is a certified life coach as well. Is that correct?
She is. Oh yeah, we a team.
That's good.
We a duo. We're Batman and Batman.
I love it.
Now one of us gonna be Robin. We both Batman. So
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, and we're figuring that out right now. I mean, we've been certified for probably about a year, maybe two already. I've took on like a couple of clients, small, young men, just to kind of like get my foot through the door and trying to get comfortable and build up my confidence in that arena. And it's been more so like a spare time thing rather than part time.
Yes.
But we're always trying to find a way to how we can build that back up. And right now it's us trying to really make sure that our household is intact.
Yes.
Because you work your 9 to 5 and in the midst of that 9 to 5, you getting kids ready for school.
Yep.
You know, that's already a job within itself. You get them out the door, you go to work, you work all day, you deal with people that you don't want to deal with.
Right.
You finish work, kids come home from school.
Yeah.
You gotta fix them dinner, help with homework,
Mm-hmm.
bathe them, shower them, put them to bed.
Right.
And then after that, you're tired.
It's high. Yes. Yeah.
You're
That's true.
tired.
For the next day.
So, you know, but for us, all of that, no matter how tired we are, all of that still comes first. There's no negotiations in that.
Right.
You know, and our goal is to make our kids, our younger kids, as self-sufficient as possible.
Yes.
That they can do more for themselves.
Right.
So that we have the spare time for ourselves to be able to accomplish and do what we want to do.
Exactly.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So you can pour into and contribute.
Yeah. And they're getting there. And we're also trying to explain to them, like, come on now, y'all, I know y'all want to do this, do this on your own.
How old are they?
11 and 6.
Okay. Okay.
So all three, 20, 11, and a 6-year-old.
I know your oldest is a girl. What are your other two?
The 11-year-old's a boy. That's Ryan Jr. And the 6-year-old is a girl.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Thanks. They keep you busy.
Yeah.
Blessing.
They keep us hella busy.
Yeah.
So again, just it's a rat race, right? So, where do you find the time? It's like the time is there, but I'm exhausted.
Yes.
So I was like, so we chat one day and was like, you know what, we gotta make them self-sufficient.
Yes.
It's like the more that we have, the less that we have to pour into them and they can do for themselves.
Yeah.
The more time that we have
right
for each other and do what we want to.
Right.
That's so true. That's very important. Very important.
Yeah, but
we'll come together. So yes.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it. Again, just being able to tap in and listen and see the growth that you both are going to make. Because like you said, even as one, great, but as two, y'all going into this together, it's gonna rock. So
yeah,
definitely, I'm looking forward to it and just being that inspiration for others, and sharing and encouraging others. And I think it's needed too, the duo. Because we don't see a lot of us married, right? Staying together and being able to share and just to be that soundboard for those who may not have anybody. Again, nobody life, relationship, or anything is perfect, but being able to go to someone like, and you be able to pour into them. I think that's it's needed. So I definitely applaud y'all and I'm rooting for y'all.
Oh yeah, definitely appreciate it. It can never be enough. You see that there's a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a movement where, there's a lot of, there's some couples coming out and being in the forefront and trying to, share their experiences and coach and provide therapy to others and everything. But again, they can never be enough. There's not very many of us at all. There's always room.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. That is so true. I am so excited. Dang. And you just coming on and sharing with us your journey and everything and just being transparent about everything. Because you never know who you're going to touch. I always say, God allowed us to go through a certain experience, right? And it's not for us, it's for others, So again, just being able to be up here and say, you know what? Yeah, unfortunately, I had to endure this and I went through this, but I overcame. This is how I overcame, and I'm better. I'm this much better. So now let me help someone else who may be going through this or who may know someone who is going through this, just to be that ear, that listening, that soundboard, or that advice, that direction for them. That is immeasurable. So.
Right. It is.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah. I definitely appreciate y'all having me. Again, this has been a delight. It's my first time, I told Topeka before this, I was like, hey, why did I get nervous the night before? we having conversation. Let me just keep
Uh-huh.
that in my head, you know.
Right.
Yep.
But
You did
yeah,
very well. You did excellent.
Yeah.
yeah, this was a lot of
It's
fun.
the unknown, like I was telling you, because you don't really know what to expect. But like I said, just up here, we're just sharing testimony in time. Like it's already past an hour that
Right.
quick. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Dang.
girl, there's so much more I know you can talk about, that you can share, that we can talk about and share. But it's like, dang, look at the time. It
Yes.
goes by so fast. But the good
Right.
thing about it too, that I love with the platform, is that it's out there. So if somebody didn't tune in today or whatever, they can always go back and watch it, because we keep
Right.
it on. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on our what is it? YouTube, on Twitter, all the platforms, and it's going to be on there. So that's the thing, they can go back and watch it later. So I love that about where we are today in the world, as far as just the information and availability and accessibility.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And hopefully, this ain't, it's definitely not the last.
No.
I'll be on here with y'all. I'm
Yes,
in
we
the
always
works.
welcome you back. Always.
I got a number of things kind of cooking where I
Uh-huh.
want to kind of really get going.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I told Topeka, like, hey, I'm trying to do a podcast on my own, just to
Mhm.
have, similar to what we're doing here. But I
Right.
want to have like other brothers like me, where we're able to
Yes.
have a space to really talk about things. I
Right.
mean, other than like, the sports and food and
Yeah.
stuff like
That
that,
part.
and hip
Yes.
hop and music and stuff like that. Other than that, we can talk a little bit about that. But what we're gonna really dig into is like really talking
Yes.
about our stories, like,
Right.
Mhm.
and us not really being afraid to show our vulnerabilities.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
Definitely.
is on point.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, yeah, hey, and not being afraid to tell another man, like, hey, man, I love you, bro.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, I
Right.
Mhm.
see you, I recognize you.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
We got to do that
Yes.
And
Very.
that's important. Yeah, because you see us women, we do that all the time. But where the men,
all
like
the
you said, the
time.
men community, you don't hear of it, you
Like,
don't see of it, and it's needed.
like,
Like
nah,
these
man, stop.
men, yeah, y'all have
Man,
to.
stop. Get off me, man. Like, nah, brother, I love you, man. Like, it's love.
Yes. Yeah.
It's love. I'm like, we here for each other, man. Look,
Uh-huh.
you're fighting the same fight as me
Right. Right.
Mm,
each day.
Mhm.
that's deep.
It's a fight.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
It's,
hey, we here for each other. So that's all
mhm.
love.
That is true. That's true.
Very true.
I'm so looking forward to it. And like Jessica said,
Yeah.
you're welcome back anytime. Would love to have you. This has been
Mhm.
great. And I know it's going to touch several, thousands, hundreds, thousands of people. And it's gonna make a difference. So I am
Mhm.
definitely like thankful that you were willing to come on and share and be a part of our lives. And
Yes.
anytime you want to come back and when you get your podcast up or whatever, let us know. We're gonna be up here promoting you, like
Yeah.
sending people your
Hey,
way, all
it
of
take
that
a
shit. We
village.
can be on your podcast if you want us to. Let us know.
Take a village. Hey,
Yes,
absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
You
definitely.
So
better believe it.
thank you for coming on.
Yes, and do you have
Absolutely.
anything you want to say before you head out? Anything you want to leave the audience with?
Yeah, if you want, y'all can check me out. Check out my website at
Okay, type it.
rnklegacy.com.
RNK Legacy.
That's RANDK Legacy Group. Dot,
RANDK Legacy.
group.com.
Uh-huh. Okay. R and K Legacy.com. Okay. Oh,
Legacygroup.com.
Legacy Group. Okay, I think I put
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah. R
Yeah.
Hey,
and
check
K
us out there.
Legacy Group.
That's me and my wife's page.
Okay.
Just kind of, displaying what we have to offer, a little bit of, our experiences
Mm-hmm.
and all. And yeah, that's the coaching page right there.
Yes. So if y'all
Awesome.
need some life coaches, y'all make sure y'all go check Ryan. What's your wife's name? I'm sorry.
Kimberly,
Ryan and
that's my
Kimberly. Make
Kimmy.
sure you go to the website and check out and see
Yes.
what they got to offer.
Yes, please do. Definitely. We will be going on and checking it out and,
Mhm.
get our information in there as well. So it's definitely a blessing. And we thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All
Yeah.
right. Absolutely. It was a pleasure. Once again, love what y'all are doing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So I'll let Jessica take us out if she doesn't mind.
No, I don't. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you, Ryan, again for coming on and being our special guest. And
Yes.
again, we welcome you with open arms to come back again. And much, congratulations to you, your life coaching, your marriage, your kids, and everything else.
Your wife, yes.
Where your podcast is coming along. Congratulations on all of that. And thank you all that have tuned in tonight and joined us. Remember, we are coming on first and third Tuesdays now. So not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, we will be on at 7:30 p.m. right here on Facebook or YouTube. If you don't want to join us on Facebook, you can go to YouTube. If your family, friends, cousins, aunties, whomever is not on social media, send them the YouTube link, and y'all make sure y'all go like, share, and follow on all of our platforms. So again, we thank y'all for coming and joining us, and we hope that y'all have a good night.
Yes, good night. Thank you all. And I'm going to post on their webpage again before I leave. I'm typing up something real quick. So I am going to post that. And y'all please head over and check them out on their website. Hold on 1 second. Ooh, I type pretty fast, but y'all know what? I'm pulling my age right now. So there we go. And we're going to leave that up as well as we, tell everyone good night for tonight. And definitely go check them out. So they're both certified life coaches, and they are at the rnklegacygroup.com. Please go check them out. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.